right, everybody, welcome to NorCal Sports Network. And this is the same hat that Brock Purdy's dad wears. Chat loves it when Marty Lurie comes on.
Anytime you lose a game this time of year, when you can't go backwards, it's a problem.
All right, everybody, welcome on in. NorCal Sports Network. Giants do it again. 6 straight win, 6 straight one run win. They come from behind, down 3 in the 9th. And Casey Schmidt got it all started. And the Giants win it 6-5. They hold on. We'll break it down for you. First, let us thank our sponsor of the show, Chapman Law Group. Chapman Law Group, located in Marin, licensed all of California. Give Chapman Law Group a call for all your legal needs. Chapman Law Group, 415-613-9483. Make sure you do not settle with an insurance company before settling on a deal. Make sure you give Chapman Law Group a call because you're leaving thousands of dollars on the table. Chapman Law Group, specializing in personal injury. They cover everything else legally, too. So if you got a legal need, give Chapman Law Group a call. They're friends of the show, and they support the show and the Giants. Wow, Lou. A wild one in Coors. Pretty boring game for 8 full innings. And then the Giants, Melvin decided to go to the well a little too much with Spencer Bivens, thinking, oh, I don't want to waste a pitcher, only down 1, and it almost cost him. Melvin tonight, or I should say Bivens, let me see what Bivens' line was. Bivens went out there for the 3rd inning. Yeah, he pitched 2 solid innings, and they tried to sneak him in the 8th, in the bottom of the 8th, and it was just he ran out of gas, and almost cost him. But somehow the Giants pulled it off, and they are going to be probably a half game behind the Dodgers, as the Dodgers are down 9-0 with a position player pitching in the bottom of the 6th inning in San Diego. Or now, I guess the pitcher for the Dodgers in the 6th was Enrique Hernandez. Came in to get the last out, and it looks like maybe the Dodgers will just punt that one away, save their bullpen. They went with an opener tonight, the Dodgers, with Lou Trevino. Remember old Lou Trevino? He pitched a scoreless inning. But anyway, so the Giants are going to move to within a half game of L.A. And let's see if we got any Casey Schmidt haters in the crowd that have been giving me a hard time all season, because I've been telling you Casey just needs some playing time. By the way, that home run, he was 2 for 4 tonight. The home run was off a right-handed hitter. And he started the key double play down there at the hot corner in the bottom of the 9th when it looked like, it hit right at you, but those aren't easy a lot of times because the hop, and he just, boom, got rid of it quick. Perfect throw, right eye level, catch it, grab it, and throw. And somehow Fitzgerald threw a sinker. But Dom Smith, what a grab at first base. That was a heck of a play to get that and keep your foot on the bag. Dom Smith, I kind of like this Dom Smith in the sense that he plays solid defense, and he's pretty doggone decent at the plate in making contact. So what do you think, Lou?
Dan, it's funny. I'll tell the chat, we were ready to get on about an hour ago, and we were going to talk about 2 major things. Melvin keeping a pitcher in for an extra 12 pitches. He's never pitched more than 32 in a year. He pitches them 50, thinking, oh, it's just a game, let's throw it away. That's the one thing I've had problems with Melvin all year, the way he handles the bullpen. I don't think he knows what he's doing half the time, but you don't know because now he's gone for the next 2 days. He's not going to pitch tomorrow. He will not pitch Thursday.
Who's that?
100%
Bivens?
guaranteed. Bivens. He's done. It's for the
Well,
series.
yeah.
And
You can allow Bivens. I mean,
yeah.
You know, hopefully you don't.
So,
need him, but.
you know, I didn't like him doing that because you got to remember it's Coors Field. 2 runs is like 1 run. You can't let that third get in. Then I got upset because I kept looking. I said, all right, what are we going to talk about tonight? And I looked and I said, my God, we only have 2 guys playing with averages over 250. And if we can't hit at Coors Field, there's a problem. And then literally the 9th inning starts and your boy, Casey, smokes it the first pitch to give us just a little spark. And, you know, I thought what was amazing is until Casey's hit, I thought we were watching the best bullpen in baseball because obviously against the Giants, their pitchers, 12 batters, 12 outs. They couldn't even get a guy. They couldn't even hit a ball out of the infield. That's how dominant
the first guy, one guy struck out 5 in a row. The first 5.
Yeah. So, you know, then again, this is why baseball is such a great game. You never know what's going to happen until the final out. And I thought the Giants were patient. I thought Fitzgerald, again, it might not show in the box, but, you know, 9 pitch at bat walk, which was really the key to the rally, you know, and then, of course, another walk, giving them the faith. And as we say, when you try to get these games, when you're down, you have to keep the band going. And they got the walk. And then you got who was it? Who got the big hit? Yastrzemski got the big hit. You know, and it really felt like this was a great game. And again, you know, they give up that solid hit to begin the bottom of the 9th. But I thought, you know, Casey made a lot better play than it looked. He makes it look easy. You know, I don't know if they get the double play with Schmidt. I mean, with Schmidt not there, if Chapman was there, because he might have been playing doubles the line. You just don't know, right? So I'm going to give
Chapman tends to play a little deeper.
Yeah, you know, and then maybe it's only a force. You don't know, but I think you got to really give. You know, this is what I like about tonight's game. Schmidt has an opportunity now to play for a whole week, which you want.
Probably 2 or 3 weeks. I think Chapman. I don't think you're going to see Chapman before July.
Okay. So he had to come up tonight big. He came up big. He was the reason why we won the game. I'm happy for you. I'm happy for Casey. And this is going to show you guys what happens when you have somebody that can make solid contact, especially at Coors Field. They only had 4 hits going into the 9th, which is sort of hard to believe at Coors Field for our team. But, you know, most importantly, it's now 6 straight. And, you know, this game, you know how it's weird. All these games don't sound like much, but, you know, San Diego and LA are going to be beating each other, right? I saw LA's schedule. They play San Diego today, tomorrow. Then they play us for 3. Then they go home for San Diego. You know, so it's going to be pretty tough. Why San Diego goes to Arizona. So here's a golden opportunity to really see how good this team really is. And, you know, we got to try to get more hits and treat that as one-way games. You know, this is now 18 wins on the year, 1-run victories. And, you know, on the road, it's a lot tougher. But you know what? Hey, let's celebrate a big win. I'm really happy for your boy. And, Dan, I'm happy for you. You know, you've been suffering. You've been telling everybody, let Casey play a little bit. He did, and he didn't let you down.
Yeah, 1 game. But I was, you know, what was awesome about it, Lou, is I got to see it in person. I am just you know, broadcasting from the studio via some techniques, but I was at the ball game tonight there.
I didn't know that. Okay, great.
There's Casey. I was right behind the plate.
There you are, right behind home plate.
There we are. And
I see him right behind home plate. Great.
See the long ball. And there it was. I was, you know, front and center there. And Casey could hear me, and I said, just hang in there, Casey. I said, just Do your thing. Do your thing, bud. Don't let him get you. Boom. There it was. My big noggin right there, next to the crowd.
Yep.
So there we go. That is courtesy of Aaron. Bake that dough. The guy's very talented. His wife makes incredible cookies. Get yourself some cookies from Bake That Dough. There you go, Lou. Show that a little bit bigger. There we go. Bake that dough. There's the QR code. You can grab that. And Aaron got the talent on the graphics.
20% off. Can't beat it.
Yeah. Awesome cookies. So, but Cliff says, can't recall in history of NorCal Sports Network the Giants being a half game out of first in June. That is correct. In our short history, our third season covering the Giants have never been this close in June. So we salute the team. And, so we'll see where this thing goes. Giants, if they can hang in there, look, kids are getting an opportunity to play. Adamas had a little bit of a breakthrough tonight, hit a long ball, which was good to see. Harrison didn't pitch too bad. One thing I'd like to see more from Harrison is stop throwing the ball so far outside. That's a mechanic issue. You're not fully following through with your release point. You're just, hanging it out there and it's just sailing. It's not even like, okay, that just missed. These things are like 2 feet wide. That's the easiest
Same as
take
last
for
year.
a hitter. Yeah. Easiest
Same as last
take.
year. He had it about the 5th or 6th start. He had this problem where he could not get the ball over. And then his curveball is not even getting close. And then what happens? He throws a fastball. These guys are waiting for him to throw a fastball because he can't get his curve or slider in. Then kaboom. So
yeah, he's got to get command because, I'm looking at what I call the big four, the core four. We had the core four in the bullpen, right? It was Javi Lopez, Jeremy Affeldt, Santiago Casilla, and Sergio Romo, the big four in the bullpen, the core four. Now we have what's called the core four. I'm calling them in starting pitching. We've got Birdsong, Roop, Harrison, and Wisenhunt. And so far, we haven't seen Wisenhunt up here, but he's been dominant in AAA. I'm kind of feeling like Harrison might be the weak link of the core four starters because he's got to get better command because you can't just miss that bad. I mean, it's okay to miss if you're missing just off the plate, but if you're missing a foot off the plate, that's just easy take. And then, like you said,
it's sort of like Walker when he was closer. If he couldn't get that sliver over, they just sat there. They weren't even. And you know what happens is once you have the problem early getting it over, it gets out. Hey guys, he has no control. Go up to bat and just wait for your pitch. Don't even, just wait for the fastball and kaboom. So it happens.
Look, you're fortunate. The Giants are fortunate enough to win this game tonight. And the Rockies are, an all-time historically bad team. Maybe
for a reason.
On pace, not just maybe, but on pace to be the worst team in the history of baseball. The Rockies are now 12-54. Imagine that. They are 42 games under 500. 42 games under 500, and they've only played 66 games. How do you do that?
So you're telling me they have a chance. Is that what you're telling me, Dan?
Yeah. Their negative run differential is minus 199.
Yeah.
The A's are the second worst in baseball at minus 118.
Yeah. Harsher, if I'm not sure, 71. Bud Black got fired 2 weeks ago, so he got freedom. He's no longer the manager. Thank God. He's probably saying long overdue.
Yeah. I would, man, I don't know what the Giants are going to do, if they're going to go with Verlander on Sunday or if they're going with Harrison in LA, because I don't know.
Yeah, I
man.
thought that was something you brought up on Hot Corner. In case you guys missed it, Dan brought up a great point. You know,
I would
you
have
go
started
against the
Ray tonight.
Dodgers at LA, you got to figure out what you're going to do. You got to figure out.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm wondering. I don't see. I'm looking for my guys that are in. Guys that are in the chat that are usually here when I say, hey, it was one game, right? Casey had a good game.
Hey, it's a good start. If he would have gone 0 for 4, they would have been all over you, Dan.
Yeah.
God, he comes in. Here's his
struggle.
chance. He can't hit at Coors Field. What are we doing with him? Get rid of him. DFA him.
Yeah, he could struggle the next 2, 3, 4 ball games. We don't know. But like I said, I had it's funny. I had a talk with him on Saturday, and I just encouraged him and told him, I said, just keep your head up. I said, focus in on your game. I said these words to him, Lou. I got a feeling you're going to get a break very soon. A break's coming your way. I had no idea it was going to be Chapman the next day.
Yeah,
going
sliding
down.
back to first. Sliding back to first.
Yeah, I did say that, Giovanni. I said he was a Gold Glove caliber player, and he is a Gold Glove player. He won a Gold Glove in the minor leagues. So I never said he was a Major League Baseball Gold Glove. That would be a stupid answer or comment because he's never played third base to even get a chance to win a Gold Glove, you clown. I said he's a Gold Glove caliber third baseman and that he's won one in the minors, and just let him play. So he's going to get his opportunity. It's a temporary one until Chapman comes back. But I think the Giants are in good hands. I think with Chapman being your third baseman, you have a backup in Casey Schmidt, which is why the Giants were smart not to get rid of him. And you keep guys that are valuable backups. And now he's going to fill in there. And, let's see, maybe Casey does a very admirable job filling in that they play him more at second. We'll see. It's a team sport. They're all pulling for each other. I know nobody's wishing. Nobody is wishing anybody ill will on this team or guys to fail. Casey and Tyler Fitzgerald are very tight, very close friends. And, they both happened to play the same position in the spring and fought for the same job. And it was given to Fitzgerald from the outset. But that's, you just take your role and you move with it. Maybe he plays so well they move Chapman to catcher. That would be hilarious. Could you imagine?
Dan, I thought going in the ninth inning, because our bench is so weak, was there a reason, or have you heard anything why Bailey got scratched tonight?
Neck tightness. Yeah.
Huh. Off a day off. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Sometimes guys maybe sleep wrong or who knows.
I got it. I just hadn't heard it was neck tightness, so I thought I'd ask.
I mean,
it must have been bad because he wasn't even thought about bringing up to pinch hit.
No. You hope he gets back soon. Otherwise, the Giants might have to bring an emergency catcher up to have ready to go. If I don't know what you would do. I think what I would do is probably I'd rather have a catcher, a second catcher ready to go if Bailey can't go for the next few days. I'd get a
Yeah, I don't
catcher.
know who the emergency guy is. Could maybe Koss do it as
Well,
emergency? I mean,
right. The
I don't.
problem is they don't even have another catcher on the 40 now because they took Sam Huff off the 40. He did
Yeah.
clear waivers and is back with Sacramento, but it's not really that you really kind of want to have a guy on your 40 that's a catcher because I'm just looking. Yeah, it's Bailey and Kinzer are it on the well, let me look at hold on. Let me take a closer look at the 40. No, well, Tom Murphy, he's on the IL, of course. So who knows? I don't know what the situation is with Murphy. I don't know if Kinzer's a holdover until Murphy, if he comes back, and Murphy's going to require, I would imagine, a full month of rehab if he's ready to play. But it's going to be, I don't know. I just, that's a rough spot because Kinzer came up in that ninth inning, and I thought he walked. Fortunately, the guy was wild, but
Yeah.
Kinzer hasn't shown anything, at the plate.
I mean, you had Koss and you had Bailey. Those were your two guys off the bench.
Yeah.
I mean,
because they used Yaz, right, for Encarnacion earlier.
So, yeah, they still have big problems, guys. This hitting team.
Well, look, they think about it. They scored 2 runs against the Rockies through 8 innings. Yeah. Aaron, I'm starting to think this Tom Murphy guy doesn't exist. Yeah, who is Tom Murphy? Has anybody even seen Tom Murphy? Yeah.
I think 4 games, that's it.
I think I saw him in spring training this year, and then boom, he was out.
Yeah.
How about the end of the game? How about when Wilmer hit that? I thought, oh my gosh, he's going to get thrown out. They're going to lose
by 1,
by like a half a step, and it's going to be the slowest guy in big league baseball, and he somehow beat it out.
Yeah, just like I thought. We all talk about good defense. The guy for the Rockies was where he almost got that incredible double play, where
third baseman
he got it, touched third, and then bet it. So that's where you got to hustle. Every time, you never know.
Fortunately, it was Lee.
Yeah, and the other thing too, who's got speed? I thought very underrated. Might not even be in the box score, but when our announcers thought Ramos hit a grand slam, they came out of the things and it was just a fly ball. The tag up from second to third was huge. If he doesn't tag up from second to third, the Giants still might have lost. It would have been the base loaded. So it's something that you just don't think of, but those small plays, especially on the road, they all add up. So
great point.
Very good.
And what's going on with our announcers thinking that's a grand slam? That was just a routine fly. That wasn't even close.
The biggest homer. Who do you think? It's not Stanford football. Relax.
I mean, come on.
I know. And it's only a game in June. It's not like it's the first game of the World Series or playoffs. Fleming, he's such a homer, but what are you going to do? But, let's look at the box scores, Dan. Hey, a big win, 6, I think. Is this the first time 11 over?
Second, I think.
Second, okay.
Let's take a look at the box score here. I'll pull
and then go over your stars of the game, and then I'll go over mine.
Okay. Stars of the game. We're singing stars.
Yeah, you get the honor.
In the rain. All right. Well, it would almost be blasphemous if I didn't pick Casey as the number 1 guy, right?
Yep.
So I'm going to go Casey Schmidt as number 1. And I'm going to go number 2. Wow. I think number 2, I've got 4 guys in mind and I can only go 3. So
That's why I let you go first.
I know. 2, I'm going to give 2 to Wilmer just for legging that thing out. He had to run for his life and he knew it. I bet he was running as fast. I mean, he would run as fast as he could. And number 3, it's a toss-up between Lee and Adames. Since Willie's been so bad and he hit a home run, and then didn't he walk in that 9th inning too? Did he walk in that 9th inning?
Who, Lee or Adames?
Adames. He did, didn't he?
Yeah, I know he had a walk. I don't know.
I think he hung in there.
Yeah, he did. He did. The bases loaded. Yeah, because it was 0-2 and he
right.
got a walk.
So Willie Adames, Schmidt, Flores, Adames. That's my 3 guys.
I like it. All right. I'm going to do, I mean, you already have Casey, so I'm not going to do Casey as the play of the game because, I mean, he was your first star and I don't want the same first star. So I'm going to do my first star. I'm going to pick Lee because of what I said. You know, he had 2 runs, big hit to start the game off with the big triple. Him leading off was a little bit different. I liked it because, you know, we were used to that last year and that's where we thought he was going to be batting. I also thought, you know, he on the sacrifice fly to get from second to third, which turned out huge. So he's going to be my number 1 star. My number 2 star, because of his wheels tonight, William Mr. Flores. Not 1, but 2 times did he actually hustle. He hustled at first, and then from first to third, where I was like, what are you doing, dude? You're the slowest guy in the league. And, you know, I thought they had to bring out the oxygen tank for him. So
the oxygen
my
tank
number 2. And then my number 3, I'm going to give it because I don't think he's had too many chances, but I thought with all the problems, Mr. Miller, who got the win tonight, shut down Colorado when it could have been a lot worse. So he's going to be my
good pick.
Star.
He actually came in and really didn't waste time like he usually does. He went in there.
He's going to be my 3rd star.
Only faced 1 hitter, but he walked 1 guy too. Yeah. So but he got it done. He got the job done.
He closed the door. It could have been a lot worse.
Yeah. And the thing about Wilmer, I want to say this about Wilmer, and look, we're a station or a channel or whatever you want to call us, a YouTube channel that, guys, I think this is why you guys come here. We don't mix words. We don't just all homer the Giants and everything's gravy and love, love, love. And we don't just rip, rip, rip. We do both. And I think it's balanced, fair and balanced. All right. I think that the Giants are doing an excellent job having Wilmer be the DH because he can't run like that if he's playing the field 70% of the time. He will wear out. And the Giants have made a calculated decision that Wilmer Flores is more valuable to them as a hitter and just a hitter than anything else. And if you remember, the Giants had talked about in the preseason that they didn't think they would have just 1 DH. They thought they would have several DHs because they didn't have, originally the plan was Wilmer and Lamont at first base and kind of platooning. And somewhere that changed. And it's when they put Casey in at first base, whoever came up with that idea, I don't know if it was Buster, if it was Melvin, somebody else in the organization. But to me, if the Giants hang in there and make this playoffs and Wilmer has the success that he's been having, that person gets a ton of credit because Wilmer Flores, as slow as he is and as injury prone as he's been, playing just the DH role preserves his legs and gives him more value. And I'm just going to say that's maybe one of the most brilliant moves the Giants have made all season, because he's clearly their best clutch hitter. And you feel really comfortable when he's at the plate with you just hope he doesn't hit the ball hard on the ground at somebody, because it's, if there was no out, it's a triple play. And if there could be a quadruple play in baseball, I think Wilmer could do it.
Dan, I completely agree with you. Like usual, Robert comes up with something where, Robert, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know why you come up with this, but Flores is not the best clutch hitter in baseball. He might be the best clutch hitter for the Giants, but Flores,
Right.
the best clutch hitter in baseball, is a little bit out of sight. That's like you saying the Giants still are going to win 100 games this year. Okay. But instead of saying 100, you feel good. Giants will definitely win 110 and be 110-52. Okay. That's not going to happen. But I like what you're thinking.
I do like this idea. Baseball has a designated hitter. Why don't we have a designated runner? Like, let's get a speedster in there that can actually run and make the game a little more, even more exciting. I kind of like maybe, we can sign the Freeze or something like that from Atlanta.
The Freeze, of course.
Wilmer is at the plate, and then the Freeze is behind the plate, and when Wilmer hits it, the Freeze takes off. Kind of like that.
Yeah, I remember growing up with my dad. He's a stockbroker. He's now 80, but when his stockbroker exchange would have him, most of these guys are out of shape. Once they got to first, you could always run for them. But I like it. The problem with the Giants right now is, that's something they've been really lacking for the last couple of years, having that speedster. Someone
they got that Johnson. That's right. We didn't see Johnson tonight. That's a speedster.
You got to get on first, but
tomorrow I think the lefty again.
Yeah,
they got
that's again, and I was going to bring that up. We got to do something where our lineup against lefties, it's still bad, and overall, guys, you got to remember we won Sunday, and did we only get 3 hits, 4 runs on 3 hits, or 3 hits? So something has to be done. And again, let's talk about how great the win was tonight. But when you get a chance, just go over the averages that played tonight. One of the things Dan keeps bringing up and me on our show is you can't have 4 outs out of 9 every time. You can't have these guys that literally just are like completely lost up there. Like they're happy if they make just contact and infield pop-up. So we got to do something.
All right. See, Kyle. Look at that. Kyle, a faithful, original, an OG, Kyle McKiernan, an OG to the Krug Show, an OG to NorCal Sports Network and Giant Sports Talk Live. Kyle McKiernan, the faithful. He hits that like button even before the show begins. I love it. Thank you, Kyle.
Yeah, good job, Kyle. And Dan, this is 6 wins, guys. So there's no excuse. No excuse to buy squares, celebrate, bake that dough to get 25% off. I'm 20% off.
25. What the heck? I'm sure Aaron does 35% off.
I said 20. 20%, not 25. I made a mistake. There it is again, in case you guys need it. Help out. We're trying to get, and by the way, guys, you right now, you have 2 months is the ball game. Let's do the squares, buy a couple of squares. The Giants are hot, so you can sit front row, go on the field, get a dinner at Capo's, get a dinner at Tommy's Mexican, and get a pitcher of margaritas. What is wrong with everyone? Let's go. Hit the like button, subscribe, because we have the big 5,000 right around the corner. 3 things we're asking you.
We're only 6 away. Hey, Lou, do me a favor. Take a photo of that that QR code and text
Yeah.
it to me, and then I'll put
right.
it up on the screen, and
Sure.
then we'll get bake that dough. We'll get
I gave out 5 of these
slew of
today.
orders.
Told them, hey, try them out. If you don't like it, I'll give you the money back for it. That's how faithful I am with them.
Oh, there
They're
you
that
go.
good.
Money
Yeah,
back guarantee from Lou Marston. How do you
I gave
like
them to a couple
that?
guys. I want to help. I want to help Mr. Lost out. So,
his last name's not Lost. I nicknamed him that.
no, I'm aware of that.
A couple years ago. I think I can't even remember how it came about. But, yeah, it would be nice to win by more than one run. Wouldn't it be nice to win a game like
the
San
Diego's doing right now? Like San Diego's doing right now to the Dodgers?
Yeah, just go up there and start hitting. I think it was a team I was watching just the other day. I can't remember who it was. They had 16 hits. I mean, have the Giants had 16 hits in the 6-game winning streak combined?
That's a trick question.
Come on. Yeah, Lou's going to help Aaron become Aaron Wins. But we'll spell it with an H because he's related to Austin. Okay. Yeah, just take a good clean shot of it, and then I'll get it. No, the Dodgers pitching is not good, Johnny. It's not good. And
19 pitchers have been on the DL for them.
Hey, I think we're going to see Kershaw in LA this weekend.
Yeah, and that's
Kershaw
one thing.
Again.
Yeah, I don't want us to ever complain. Remember last year? Giants are missing 2 guys. Oh, Giants have another injury. Imagine if we lost 18 pitchers on the DL.
Robert DeVille says Saturday we got Kershaw. So they got Yamamoto Friday. Yamamoto Webb. That's gonna be worth the price of admission, that one. Yamamoto, Webb, and then Kershaw. Is it Roop? Or who is Saturday? Let me take a look. Saturday. Yeah, Saturday is Roop. Yeah, Roop, Kershaw. And then Sunday right now is slated to be Harrison and Dustin May.
Ooh, Mr.
Dustin May's not what he used to be.
No.
Yeah. So Yamamoto, Kershaw, and May.
You got a guy that throws 85 pitches. Tough on Friday.
You know what, George? I think they have 14. I think it is 14.
No, more than that.
I think it was 14 that went on the IL at some point or another this year. Not currently, all of them, but okay. So let's see if we can get that. Hold on here. Let's see if we can get
Is that
this.
Okay, or do you need another one?
Maybe a little bit straighter down might work better. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to try and.
Sorry.
I want to see if we can. Let's see if I can get that.
Yeah, the one problem I have is I already took not a picture of it, but I got it in my thing. So taking a photo sometimes, the link pops up on my phone since I already have it.
Hold on here. Let me see how this will come out. All right. We'll see if I can pull it up here. All right. We're going to try this.
You know what I mean? It's in my
yeah. All right. Let's see if we can It may not be too clear. Shoot.
I just resent you another one.
Hold on. That one didn't come out clear enough. Let me take another one here. I haven't got it yet. Okay. There it is. It's kind of, see if it comes through with, hold on guys. We're just doing a little housekeeping here. And,
15 pitchers. Sorry. 15 pitchers have been on the DL this year. I'm looking at it right now.
I thought it was 14 or 15. Yeah.
15. I'm sorry. I said what? 18?
Yeah.
It's Dodgers. Who cares? Sorry for the exaggeration factor.
Not bad. Pretty close.
And the problem is, out of the 15, 12 of them are 60 days. That's pretty brutal. So who knows if they're ever coming back.
All right. This might be too blurry. Let me see if I can make it work. Guys, I'm going to put this up here on the screen and see if it, this is for 20% off, I believe. How's it showing on there? I don't think it's going to show. I don't think it's going to work. Oh, it does work. Wait. Yes, it does work, guys. I just was able to do my screenshot on there. Here, let me get rid of the banner, and that'll make it. Bake that dough order form. There it is. Just click on that. Take you right to the order form. Come on. It's a little blurry. But it does. Somehow it still works. So shoot on that there. Take you right to the order screen for your cookies. There you go. Clear my emails. How many I got up there? Oh, 50,000. That's it? Jeez. 50,000 emails. I know. It's ridiculous. I can't get a hold of it. I can't get a top of it. They just keep coming and coming and coming. One of these days, I'll have to take a week off and just spend on my emails. You're muted, Lou.
That's what happens when you got that big of a fan club and all the followers.
Fossey noticed that 50,000 emails in there. What pitcher would sign with the Dodgers? I'm sure Sasaki is happy he signed there. Their pitchers dropped like flies. Glad he approved of their pitching philosophy. Yeah, what is it with the Dodgers? How do you have four? The Giants don't even have 14 pitchers that have been up with the club this year.
Yeah, we're very lucky. That was me knocking on wood because they have 15 and 12 are on 60. So probably 10 of those aren't even going to be coming back, it sounds like. Well, it happens.
35,000 of the emails are Chardol. No, I can tell you that's not true. But yeah, that's interesting. Is Ohtani going to get hurt again? You know what I think they should do? If I was the Dodgers, I would not mess with Ohtani until about September, and I would just make him my closer. I would not mess with Ohtani trying to start a game. I just make him my closer. 1 inning, no back-to-back games. 1 inning, no back-to-back games. So, who's a realistic bat we get at the deadline? You know, I don't know.
See who's on the last year of his contract.
Yeah.
A lot of guys.
Well, Ryan O'Hearn's on the last year of his contract's free agent. You've also got the possibility of the Red Sox if they move off Jarren Duran because Roman Anthony is up now. There's also Rafael Devers if there's an issue there. I've even heard that the Alex Bregman, they could move off of Bregman because he can opt out of his contract after this year, which he was having a great year, but I don't know if he will now. I don't know. Let's see. What is this? A reason to not want to sign as a pitcher with the Dodgers? Why would free agent aces want to sign there? Dan, thoughts? Well, I think it's the lure of, a lot of run support. You're pitching in front of a huge crowd wherever you're at, road or home. You're going to get a lot of money. You're with a, top organization. I don't think any pitcher looks at it and goes, I'm not going to go there. I'm going to get hurt. I don't know what it is, why they're getting hurt. It's beyond me. It's almost like one of those things, where you hear one of these towns that had, oh yeah, there was leakage of gas in the area that broke through the plant and everybody in the town has cancer, right? I mean, what is it with everybody that goes to the Dodger clubhouse there and is a pitcher, their arm gets, their elbow gets radiation and it breaks down the ligament. I don't know what's going on in LA, but I don't know how you have 14 or 15 pitchers go on the IL and we're in June. I mean, that happened in May for these guys. Within 2 months, they went through an entire. I mean, how many guys make the pitching staff? 12 or 13, right? At the most.
That's why it's so hard to repeat off a championship year. Everything can go wrong, goes wrong. It's tough. Dan,
Giants,
people in the chat have gone, yep, you got to move the hats.
I got to move the hats.
Are you going to be okay physically, or does Buster have to do it?
We'll see. We'll see. I'm in rough shape, but I'm okay. Hold on, let me take this out.
Very good, chat. Make them work out a little bit. Who knows? Giants might be in first place by the time they go to the ravine.
I'm kind of tempted just to take the Dodgers off the top right now. Just get them off there. Hey, Giants could be in first place tomorrow night, guys.
By the time they go to the ravine. Yep.
Yeah. So there they are. Giants are in second place. Half a game ahead of the Padres. And hey, if the Dodger, if the Padres, if we've named the Padres, we renamed them to the Madres. You know what Padres is, right? It's fathers. So if we can name the Padres the Madres and the Dodgers the Effers. Those Madre Effers. All right. So Giants are moved up second place. Let's see. What else we got here? You know what? Let's do this. Let's just do this for the last part of the show. Let's, as they used to say, it's Open Line Fridays. You remember that, Lou, right? The great Rush Limbaugh.
Yeah, Rush.
Here we go. Let's get a. Hold on. I got to get this out of here. Hold on. Come on. Copy. All right, I guess I got to copy it again. Right, my copy and paste didn't work.
While you're doing that, Dan, to get everyone fired up, why don't you show the Haley thing, and then we'll do open calls the last 25 minutes.
I like it. If I can get, hold on.
Anything.
My doggone.
See what happens? We got you doing physical therapy, moving the hat, and all hell breaks loose.
Now look at this. All right. Come on. There we go. All right. We'll play this. It's the links in the chat. Anybody wants to come in, join, give us your thoughts on the game, on the Giants. And we will play the promo for the squares. Everybody, this is about a 70-second promo for the squares. We've teamed up with Giants Sports Talk Live, and we have put this together. If I can find it, that would be really nice. There it is. Here we go.
Giant Sports Talk Live and the NorCal Sports Network have teamed up to give back to the community. We ask for your support as we aid in Haley Busby's fight for life in her battle with liver cancer. To take part in this fundraiser, you can purchase an entry for just $20, and the winner receives 4 front row dugout seats at Oracle Park for your choice of an August 8th game versus the Washington Nationals or the August 29th game when the Giants host the Baltimore Orioles. The winner will also get an on-field experience on game day and attend batting practice. So secure your entry now, as eligibility is limited. Draw date to be determined. The Busby family, Giant Sports Talk Live, and the NorCal Sports Network thank you for your participation and contribution to this worthwhile event, covering the San Francisco Giants and giving back to those in need in 2025. Giant Sports Talk Live and the NorCal Sports Network.
All right, there we go. And let's take a look at the updated squares. I think this is fairly close to updated. There's a few extra squares up. There's only a little over 30 left, guys. Yeah, there's in the 30s. There's some numbers in the 30s available. There's 1 and 3 and 5, it looks like, I think. 50, 60, 70, 90. Some 80s numbers in there. And some in the 90s, a few in the 50s, and that's about it. So grab your square, $20. Can't beat what you win. I mean, you're getting a package that's probably worth well over $1,000. So $20. Throw in $20, and if you don't win, you're helping a really good cause. So,
come on, you guys haven't gotten anything for Father's Day yet. Buy him a square. Show him you care.
Yeah, show him you care. Speaking of Father's Day, we've got the Chief Padre down here in this green room, snacking away. Hey, guys, by the way, this bag of popcorn was instrumental tonight in tonight's win. Just want to let you know, this popcorn, I took one for the team. If I Ralph on the air, it's because of this popcorn. In the 9th inning, I was shoving popcorn down my mouth, and then I stopped, and then there was an out. Then I started putting it back in my mouth, and then I had to start doing one kernel at a time because I was getting sick to my stomach. But the rally popcorn worked. Okay, took it for the team. So with that, we welcome in all the way from San Diego, Padre. Yeah, you're a Padre, right? You're a Padre, right, Dallas?
I'm a Padre, yeah, but not from San Diego.
Yeah, I know, but you are a Padre. You have kids, right?
Yes.
All right. Well,
2 of
very
them.
good. Give us your thoughts tonight. What was your takeaways?
Well, I was preparing myself to be very disappointed. Things were not looking good there, and somehow they managed to string together a great inning.
Yeah. Hey, before I forget, my producer is in my ear telling me, look, wait, hold on. We got incredible technology here. He's in my ear. pitch comm problem here. Hold on.
Can you not hear me?
My producer is in my ear. I have a pitch comm problem. Okay, he says, "Dude, tell him about our giveaway, Dan." That's right. 5,000 subs. We're like 4 or 5 away from 5,000. Enter. Make sure you sub. Hey, if you're watching on YouTube, then you're not a sub. And if you're watching over on Twitter or Facebook right now, you need to come over to YouTube to subscribe, because we're going to be giving away an Elliot Ramos signed jersey for reaching 5,000 subs. So we're 3 away, guys. Come on over from the, Twitter over there, X. And then when we do our drawing here in a couple of weeks, we will enter all the names, and we're going to have possibly hundreds in for that. Elliot Ramos signed jersey. All right, there we go. Go ahead, Dallas. Sorry about that.
Yeah, so they got behind, and then the lightning strike started to go, and the thunder, and I started to worry that maybe there'd be a delay, or they'd have to call the game, and that's why I think the Rockies brought their pitcher in the 6th inning, their old closer.
Oh, Bird?
Yeah, they I guess according to the people on the radio, they said that it was unusual for him to come in that early.
Interesting. They thought the game might get
so I don't know if they were
called.
Worried about not getting the game in.
Well, the Giants are now 39 and 28
or something.
39 and 28. They've won 6 in a row. And tonight was a huge win, because you don't want to lose to the Rockies to start the series.
You don't want to lose to the Rockies at all.
Right. For sure. You don't want to lose. I mean, this is really...
They've already done that once this year. If they lose another one, then they're behind in that, because everybody else has lost 1 or 0. No one's lost 2 to the Rockies yet.
Yes. So, well, not in the division, but the Marlins got swept.
In the division.
Right.
In the division, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think? Is this a team that can... Are they contenders? Are they pretenders? Or what say you?
I say they're contenders. I think that the bats will get better. Adames will not go 200 the rest of the way. He's got to do better. I mean, it's possible that it's a total lost year for him and it's just a slump, but more than likely in the second half, he has a better second half. And that's going to be a huge difference. Right now, the guy they spent the most money on has contributed almost nothing aside from tonight. He had a walk off the first game of the year, or he had a home run the first game.
Yeah.
But he really hasn't done much of anything.
His bat, the second strike or the first strike, I can't remember, in the 9th inning, when the pitch broke low and away, and it would have been behind a left-handed batter. That's how far it was off the plate. It would have been, a left-handed batter would have been like, whoa, you're throwing behind me. He swung and missed at that, and I'm like, that was one of the worst swings that just looked like I have no idea what I'm doing up here at the plate. I don't know how a big leaguer this many years in the big leagues swings at so many pitches like that. That wasn't the first time. I see it almost nightly, and it tells me I'd get the guy's eyes checked. Seriously. I wonder if they've even considered checking his eyesight, because you can't miss a ball that bad.
Like Wild Thing. He needed the glasses.
Hey, if you're listening to San Francisco Giants, if you haven't done this already, check Willy Adames's eyesight. It's possible that he's got an astigmatism that's come up and he's just not seeing it as sharp, because he's swinging at pitches that I don't see rookies swing at and get fooled like this. This guy is swinging at balls. I mean, seriously, he's missing the ball by this. Is there this much room on my camera? He's missing the ball by a lot. And that's hard to do on a regular basis. My guess is he's
guessing.
He's guessing so bad, or he's not seeing the ball very well, or both.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there are pitches that make him look bad, but I'll take the big monster home run tonight he hit. That was good to see. Maybe, you look at those advanced graphics on Baseball Savant and how his bat speed is down and how his barrel rate is down and how he's all out of whack. It's like a completely different hitter. So if he can just get back on the right track, then that's going to help the Giants a lot, the rest of the season.
Yeah.
If it happens, who knows?
And we got another one in the green room. I see Johnny Parmesan Cesari, our closer.
Dan, I thought I was going to be very upset tonight because that game was ugly. They won. Duvall is still getting saves. I'm actually almost happy, but they better win 2 more against that team.
Yeah.
Dallas, it's Coors. I'm more impressed Miller pitched to 2 batters and still walked 1. Dan, he's going to walk a guy. He got the win, but he's just going to put guys on base.
That's Eric Miller.
What's his ERA now?
It's like
It's like
1.5.
It's 1.25.
So, Johnny, do you think the Giants are pretenders
or contenders?
No, I think they are contenders because of the pitching. My playoff bet is actually halfway looking good, Dan. Plus 375.
Nice. Look, I've got them covered either way. I don't think they were going to make the playoffs at the start of the season, but as a funny gesture, because people said I don't like I'm anti-Giants. I threw $5 on the Giants live on the show. I got them for 100. What was it? Was it 100 to 1? I think $5 wins me $500 if the Giants win it all. So wouldn't that be the craziest bet? And I'll be pissed at it because I remember I go, I'm not wasting 10. I'll waste 5, but I won't waste 10. Watch it.
I mean, Duvall, he's really trying to make another all-star game. If he keeps getting saves and his ERA keeps going down, he actually might get there again.
I think the Giants have 2 all-stars that make the team.
Well, Rodriguez might make it because his ERA is ridiculous and he strikes out a lot of guys.
If they would pick, it would be nice if they did pick Rodriguez. I think if he
probably
continues,
won't.
But they probably won't. I think it's Ray and Webb. And I don't think Ramos makes it because if you look at the National League outfielders, it's loaded this year. It's absolutely loaded. And Ramos made it last year because the Giants didn't have any. Well, I guess they got Webb in there too, but it'll be hard for Ramos to make it. I heard on the Giants podcast, they talked about Jung-Hoo Lee with the international vote. That Jung-Hoo Lee is very popular. I don't think he will.
They should be able to overrule it.
I don't think he'll get the support from whatever the other, there's the fans that gives you a percentage, and then what is it, the players or managers, or I don't know.
Something like that.
But Chapman was on, I looked at it and they said Chapman, and I thought, Chapman? But if you look at the National League, the only third baseman that's any good is Machado. There's no other good third baseman in the entire National League this year.
Well, Chapman's out a while, Dan. They said he sprained ligaments in his hand.
Oh, I think he's out. I think he's out until sometime in July.
And he's going to see a specialist in LA
Right.
on Friday,
Yeah.
which means you
it's
won't
a
even know what's up
possibility.
until then.
If it's more than just sprained ligaments, I don't know if they MRI'd it yet or not. Did they?
I would assume that they did.
If he sees a specialist and there's more damage to the ligaments, you could be looking at the whole year of Chapman being out, which would be like a devastating blow to the team.
I mean, he was hitting, and of course, as soon as he started hitting, he gets hurt.
Well, that is Chapman. I've told you this all along. When he gets hot, he can carry a team for a couple of weeks. He is very streaky, and he was on his heater streak right now. In fact, I had him in my lineup with fantasy. I started to, I've had him on the bench all year, and I was waiting for him to get hot because I know it happens every year. And he could be the best hitter in baseball for a month. He literally can. He was 2 years ago with Toronto. He started the season off as the best player in baseball. He was so hot, and then he hurt his hand, or thumb, or hand, or something like that. And so I don't know what this is going to do. I would
Dan, I have
count
a
on
question.
him being out till maybe the All-Star break. Seriously.
Say he goes on the 60-day. Do the Giants try to get another third baseman, or are they satisfied with your boy? I mean, you got to remember Chapman and Adames are up here. You've lost one. Do you
I think they'd be satisfied with Schmidt filling in there, but they might not be satisfied with Koss as your only backup utility infielder. Like they might be short again.
Did Jake Lamb? They released him, didn't they?
I hadn't seen. I saw him a couple weeks ago.
Didn't he used to play third base for Arizona, Jake Lamb?
I think he did.
Yeah, it says he did.
Yeah, I would go after
third,
Ryan
first, and outfielder.
Ryan McMahon might be available. I would hope they would give Casey a shot, but it's all going to depend on how Casey does over the next couple of weeks.
What about if Boston loses like 10 out of the next 15? Do you go for
Devers?
Do you go for Devers?
Lou, I already think they're sellers, and yes, I would.
Who would you give up?
You need to figure that out. If you can get him, at least he's a real bat. But you don't give up any of your pitchers if they're actually going to be pitching good. So you're going to have to figure out.
But with Verlander coming back, you're going to have a surplus of starters.
Well,
I don't know. What do you think? Maybe some Ghirardelli chocolate?
Lou, I think they're going to push Verlander.
Too.
I think they're going to hold Verlander back until they have to activate him. I don't think they're in a hurry to bring him back.
I don't think they'll want our crab sandwiches because they've got pretty good crab on the East Coast. They don't have much chocolate, though, like Ghirardelli chocolate. We may be able to get Ghirardelli chocolate for Devers.
I do think O'Hearn's a real possibility because they won't have to give up a lot to get him. He is a rental.
But he also plays the same position that Dom Smith, and he's a lefty.
That's true, too. I mean,
I don't think the Giants want to really give up anybody of significance unless they're getting somebody back of real significance. I don't think they want to. I mean, I think they would go after Devers because Devers isn't a free agent.
No, I think he's got 2 years left.
2 more years. But you got to remember, they're playing right now. Boston, they're almost giving up on the season. Where they're playing, if you saw tonight, they played six of the guys are 1 year or less in their starting lineup. They're playing the youth. They're saying, hey, we can't win the division right now. Let's give these guys time. Let's play the youth, something that we've been saying the Giants should have been doing 3 years ago. But now you're given this opportunity where Boston's saying, hey, they're playing the youth. They got a big fat contract. The Giants might need, this guy that's a solid hitter. I mean, just imagine if Chapman is there. I mean, Chapman's out and you put him in our lineup. Right there, we're probably worth at least he'll be at third base. He'll be happy. You're going to at least score another run a game. I mean, we just need right now, I mean, you guys look, the last 6 games, or just go to the last 21 games, we're getting 4, 3, 2. We need something where some guy that can hit when we're not at Coors Field. Let me put it that way.
Well,
Just a
I'm-
chance, something.
I'm just thinking about it like this, Lou. If they consistently scored 4 runs a game, they probably would win more than they would lose.
Yeah, I agree.
What happens if, let's say, over the course of the next 10 to 15 games, Casey Schmidt is hitting 250 and has a 700 plus OPS, playing really sound defense. And you say,
I don't.
he's filling in adequately, as he's putting up numbers that are above average, and you just and let's say he has like a 105 WRC plus, and you just say, hey,
I don't.
why do we want to give away something for he's a holding third base over until Chapman comes back?
I know, but I see what you're saying there. Oh, sorry, Johnny. I was just going to say one thing, and Dallas might be thinking this. The chat knows about Schmidt. The average Giants fan doesn't know how good Schmidt could be or is how good. They're going to say, oh, my God, and they're going to panic. A lot of these fans, there's a difference. This chat is probably on a scale 1 to 10, like 9.5 baseball sense. They know baseball sense, but the average fan is going to say, we lost Chapman. We need a third baseman. They probably don't even know Schmidt's first name. They don't know it's Casey. They're saying, oh, my God, we just lost a guy who is this. Because you got to remember, the reputation right now of Chapman is so high, even though it should be defensively. Yes, he's great. But offensively, he's been okay. He's been average at best offensively. But I'm just saying the public where they're going to say, oh, my God, we need to do something, and I think it's.
Yeah, but I mean, Dan's been saying it from the beginning. If you look at just on the defensive side of the ball, if Chapman is a 10, Casey Schmidt is a 9, an 8.5. Maybe he's a 10 also. We don't know. He's never played a season out there. We don't know. He's very good. On the offensive side of the ball, Chapman is a career 240 hitter. Casey Schmidt, we don't know what he is, but he's probably higher than a 240 hitter. Now, does he have the power that Chapman has? We don't know. He's gone on some hot streaks. When he first came up, he had a week where he played real well, but he hasn't had any consistent playing time since then. So we don't really know. This is our first chance to really get a prolonged look at Casey Schmidt to see what he can bring to the table. So it's good to have that assessment because
I think
you have to determine that this year sometime.
Yeah. And you know what? This might be, in some ways, if the Giants are contenders and Chapman is only out for a month or less, it might be a blessing in disguise in that Casey gets, a run where he gets 15 straight games, 20 games he plays, and he gets 80 bats, and he gets into a groove, and he shows that he's capable of being an everyday player. Maybe it's, who has a lot of more value on the trade market is Fitzgerald than Schmidt, because people value what Fitzgerald did last year. Maybe you turn Fitzgerald into a better bat. You throw up a pitcher and Fitzgerald into a team, and Schmidt takes over at second base. And now you have, because look, Casey could play. Well, we've seen him play all 4 positions. His best position is third. He's never got a really shot to play it, but a guy that can field, he's probably his weakest position is probably shortstop, just because it requires more range.
I think he's really fine there, though.
He's fine. He's fine for probably not an everyday 162, but he could play 20, 30 games there. But he could play 150 plus at third base. This is what the Giants drafted him as. And the reason I talked about Chapman when they signed him, it wasn't that I just disliked Chapman. I don't dislike Chapman. I think he's a hell of a player. I don't think he was worth what they paid him. But for the Giants, they didn't have anybody of name recognition. And Matt Chapman was an Oakland A, and he was with Melvin, and he was really, really good. Him and Matt Olson together. And
I think Melvin had more to do with that than Buster did. I think Melvin.
Oh yeah,
Out
no doubt, no doubt. And I think if you really want to know what the Giants should do, in my opinion, instead of going out and trying to get a Devers, because you have Chapman for 5 more years, go see if you can pry Matt Olson away from the Braves and put him at first base and make Bryce Eldridge an outfielder / DH. And now you've got some real heavy lumber in your lineup. And Matt Olson is signed through 29, I believe, with a club option in 30. And it's not that much. It's like low 20s.
I mean, Dan, the last thing you want to do, though, like if Schmidt's going to play well and keep his head above water, you don't want to make a move just to make a move. You need to be smart about it, because if they're actually going to be winning and hanging around, you don't want to ruin what's going on that got them to that point.
Oh, yeah. I think you play Casey. I'm talking about Olson right now at first base. I think if you really wanted to get a bat in the lineup that makes a difference and balances the lineup out, Olson would be really good. I mean, you can make – I mean, Dom Smith is he's adequate fill-in. He's not long-term the answer. It's going to be Eldridge if they don't do something different next year. It's going to be Eldridge. But I like Olson's bat, and I know Melvin loves him. And Atlanta's, I don't know what they're going to do. They're probably going to hang on to him, but they're also not doing well. But as far as Casey goes, I don't do anything right now. I just let him play. I let him play his natural position. He's finally got a shot to play third base. It's hopefully for the Giants, it's not the entire year that Chapman is going to make a comeback, a full recovery. But I do think, based on Chapman already said it's going to be longer than 10 days. He knows it's not. I mean, if he's saying that, he's not expecting it to be like, 10 days and I'm coming back. I think he's expecting sometime in July.
Did you happen to see him today, Dan, in the dugout? That looked like a full cast.
Well, I
that
think
he had on. Am I right, Dallas or Johnny? Did you guys see it? It looked like a full cast to me.
I mean,
I don't think you'd have a.
It's tape,
I don't think you'd have a full.
but
I looked more.
It's the ligaments that are.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well,
I think
It's wrapped up. I don't know.
They said it was precautionary, Lou, but that looked pretty bad.
I think that the bad part is it's his throwing hand, and he lost. You could tell when he went down on that pickoff that there was something not right, and he was trying to will himself to. But whatever he did, it hurt because he was in pain. He jammed all those fingers back, and if you stretch those ligaments, is a sprain, right? Spraining ligaments is stretched. Now, if they're torn, hopefully not. Hopefully they've ruled that out. But I don't understand the need to see a hand specialist in LA if there's something that's just a couple of weeks.
Unless it's just precautionary. You're going to be there, so you might as well go see him.
True.
But
and they have the doctors there in LA. Yeah.
Based on what his hand looked like in that cast, it's definitely a lot worse than what he's hoping for. Because if it's not that bad, you're not going to have a big old thing on your hand.
Unless the doctors deem that not moving it is the best way for it to heal up, then if they want him immobilized, then they might do that. But it does look a lot worse than you'd think it would be, jamming your fingers.
Yeah. And
so what's the best case scenario for Casey here? He plays well, he can steal Tyler Fitzgerald's job, or he ups his trade value?
all of the above. What happens if Willie Adames continues to slide, and you just say he's? I mean, if Willie Adames' batting average goes into the 170s, what do you do at that point? You just say, well, he's our guy, or at some point you got to say he's detrimental to the.
I think
to the offense.
He goes down farther and farther in the order till he's hitting ninth, and you give him every opportunity you can, and then eventually you have him. You start spelling him, 3 games a week.
Yeah.
I will say I was happy with his game tonight.
He did play well. I mean, he got a hold of that.
430 feet?
439. That was a dead center.
Yeah. Without Casey, we don't win tonight.
Oh, I mean, that was at the time it was like, it's just a solo shot, but I think it put a spark in the team in the ninth.
It definitely set the tone of that game.
It brought him within 2, which is, one guy on and you a bloop and a blast.
Two sounds so much better than 3. Once he hit that home run, I was like, oh, we got a shot here. I started perking up and listening and paying attention more. Because at that point I was like, yeah, this is it. I was getting ready for the bad time.
Yeah, I mean, it was nice to see.
I was feeling good.
Look, I think Casey just, he's been patiently waiting for a shot. Whether he takes it and runs with it remains to be seen. But I think, this is his one opportunity to show that he belongs as a player. And, it's really up. It's really more up to him now, right? I mean, he's getting a shot, and if he
in one game in, he's done that. There was no drop off from Chapman tonight. He played a perfect third base, made some great plays, and got a run on the board.
And he was 2 for 4, right? Yeah, he
got over
200. He's at 204 now.
Right. So he's ahead of the game right now. So if he continues to play well, then it's only good things for him.
Right. And I think that's what you want as a ball player is just give me a chance to play every day. And I do think this is going to be his best opportunity, because I watched him last year at the end of the year when Chapman was on paternity leave. He got a chance to play 3 or 4 games at third base, and he happened to excel in the field and at the plate. And I talked to him in the offseason about it, and there is a little bit more of a feeling of being relaxed at the plate when you're at your natural position. Think about what he has to do at second base now this year, first base. You're learning so much, your footwork, everything's different. How do you stretch? How do you, all these different things. Do I hold this guy on? Do I do that? Do I charge for a bunt from this? All those things had to be new.
Right.
And now you're going up to the plate and you're not just relaxed because you're mentally in the game. You've had to think so much on the defensive side. Now,
also,
he's just playing where he's played all his life.
Yeah, it's second nature to him. But also, he knows he's going to be in the lineup tomorrow, whether he goes 0 for 4 or 2 for 4 or 4 for, it doesn't matter. He will be in the lineup tomorrow, and that takes some pressure off. Like,
great Great
What's
point.
that?
Yeah, it does. It takes a lot of pressure off. It's just so weird that I just had this conversation with him Saturday and said, I think something big's about. I feel a break coming for you soon. Like I said, I just thought he was due a break, but I didn't expect it to be this. I expected, I was actually thinking maybe he's going to get in the lineup, have a good day, and then they're going to spell Fitzgerald, and he's going to have another good day, and then they're just going to say, you know what, we're going to just roll with Casey for a while. But
I mean, injury is part of the game, unfortunately. So
He's going to think that you're like his Yoda or something. Like he'll be at the plate, he'll see Dan, use the force, Casey.
just it's weird. I don't know what prompted me to say it. I guess I was just trying to encourage him, because I know it's frustrating for him to not play. And, he was finally you think about he had a huge opportunity earlier in the year and he got hurt, the oblique. He would have been all that slump that Lamont was having. He would have got a lot more run then. But anyway, We'll see how it goes. Just happy the team won. I mean, they're 39-28. They look like contenders. 6 days ago, I would have said they're pretenders because they, my concern still is this. They scored 2 runs against the Rockies, an all-time worst team, and they threw 8 innings. That's giving them credit for the 9th, but come on, guys. This team still has to find a way to find itself at the offensive end.
I mean, Dan, it happens.
Winning 1-run games is great, but it is not sustainable. You're not going to win every game, every 1-run game. Right. Over the course of the season, it's going to be a little bit more like 50-50. So, you got to 8 in a row is ridiculous. They happen to win 6 of the last 8, 6 in a row, but it's crazy.
Again,
you got to score more runs than that. This is Colorado.
Yeah.
I'm just going to get one at a time and hope the wins keep stacking up. That's all I could do. Yeah. I'm convinced the pitching is legit. And the bullpen ERA is now, it was 2.38 before the game tonight. So I'm pretty convinced the pen is good. Outside of Miller's ERA being deceptively lower than it should be.
The pen is good. The pen is very solid. The rotation is solid. I get concerned with August and September, if you want to know the truth, with this rotation. It's young. I don't think it's going to hold up. And personally, I don't think Birdsong, Roop, and Harrison are going to be pitching like this in September when it counts, because I think they're going to be tired.
But I think Ray
and Webb are fine. I think if you want to know the truth, what this team really should do is go get another starting pitcher.
I mean, that's actually an interesting point. They could do that just because if Buster has built this team with pitching, he might do that. It wouldn't surprise me if he did.
I'd get me one of those veterans guys like Jake Peavy, one of those guys down the stretch, because these young guys have never been in a pennant race and they've never pitched a ton of innings. And if you keep pitching them at the rate they're pitching now, they're going to be way past their threshold that they've ever pitched. And if you know anything about that, and guys break down once they reach that level, they just start to get tired. And I don't think this team is built for 162 right now. I think they need more starters. And I think the Dodgers, I don't think they care about their 162. They're building themselves for October. I think if the Dodgers felt like they were, in jeopardy of not making the playoffs, I think you'd see some of their guys probably start being ready to come out. But they're going to wait till Snell's fully healthy. And let's say Snell's fully healthy July 15th. they're going to wait till August 10th or 15th to get him going. And they want him at peak performance in October. And that's where the Giants, personally, it's a little nerve-wracking to me because I would scale back a little bit on Webb, not keep pushing him to 220 innings. I would try to keep him around 190 and have.
I wouldn't worry about Webb. He doesn't throw that hard. He's always over 200.
I would like to see it preserve. I think they're better off. Like, look, the Dodgers, nobody's going to throw that many innings, and those guys are going to be very, very fresh when it comes to the playoffs. And the Giants are going to be spent. If they don't add pitching, I think they need, keep going. You need a bat for sure, but yeah. I would go find a veteran pitcher, somebody that is maybe a free agent at the end of this year, and you don't have to give up much for them. I don't know who those pitchers are, but they're always there. And I would try to add, and then I've got more fresh arms for the pennant stretch. And if you make the
Harrison
playoffs,
has only pitched 18 innings so far this year.
I'm not counting on Harrison to be sharp at the end of the year.
But as far as eating innings, he pitched 125 innings last year.
He did 125. Okay,
yeah,
he can go, but can he be effective?
It remains to be seen. But he has at least more bullets in the clip.
He definitely does.
Birdsong got a late start, but he's already pitched 42 innings this year, which is he only pitched 72 last year. So he could probably give you 100, 115. I don't know how much they're going to want to go past that. So, probably they might have to pace him at some point. So with Verlander coming back, who goes back to the bullpen?
I think Harrison does. I think it's Harrison.
Probably. But if they want to save some of Birdsong for later on, maybe they want to rest him or Roop, because those two guys are not going to have the longevity.
Let me give you some pitchers that I think that might fit that role, what I'm talking about, a guy to sign, a guy like, let me look here on the list. Nick Martinez of Cincinnati is out there. Charlie Morton, he's old, but he might be able to give you some innings. Tyler Anderson, Andrew Haney, Kyle Hendricks, Eric Fetty, our old friend Alex Cobb is out there as a free agent. Let me think who else is possibility. Chris Bassett is out there. Walker Buehler, he's got a mutual option, the club and him with Boston. John Gray, guys like that that aren't going to cost you but a number 23, 25, 28 prospect. Okay. Somebody that you're just going to go, okay, we'll give you this guy.
We'll take the money off your books.
Yeah. And because you're going to need guys that just have to pitch. And what you're really looking for is somebody that can give you 5 innings, like Quintana did in 21, right? Remember Quintana came in and he was okay. Now look at Quintana. He's actually pitched pretty good last year. And we thought he was finished in 21, right? So you're looking for guys that just can give you some stability when guys' arms are tired. That's all. Johnny's battery died. Okay. Sandy Alcantara. Now that'll cost you. That's not going to be, one of those guys. That's going to cost you some real prospects. But I'm okay with that because I think Alcantara is going to be really good next year. I think he's going to be like Robbie Ray this year because he's going to be another year removed. And you might be able to get Alcantara. They got Yuri Perez, who's only like 20, 21 years old, that just came back last night.
Just came back. That guy, ridiculous.
Oh, he's
103 miles an hour.
He's got ridiculous stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, they say Alcantara might go to the Dodgers. They've been in talks. They talked about an MLB today because they need pitching.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Yeah.
Yeah. I also think, Dan, and Dallas is you got to remember how many teams are looking for what we're looking for. So I just hope we don't wait till the last second. There's a lot of surprise teams right now. I mean, I don't think anybody thought Toronto was going to be that good this year. Tampa Bay, I don't know how they do it every year. I'm just looking, these teams, seven games over 500, 5 over 500. You got Minnesota still, 5 over. And then just in the National League, Philly right now, something's wrong with them. They just can't score. But, they're trying to get another starting pitching. You got St. Louis somehow who's 5 over. Milwaukee 5 over. And the Reds, they had a real bad run where they lost. Like I think they went 2-11, but they're almost at 500. So I just hope Buster makes a move and doesn't do the Farhan where he waits to the very, 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 very last second, because there's a lot of teams that are also looking for what we're looking. And Dan, I love maybe coming up with another starter.
Look at the wild card.
Also, the longer you wait, though, the more pitchers get hurt, and then Wisenhunt all of a sudden starts looking really good to other teams. Of course, that's an arm that they haven't even used yet.
Yeah, look at the Giants at the top of the wild card, and only a half game. If we go to this, we're gonna have to. My sciatics is acted up. I'm gonna have to end this here. Half game. Look at that. Half game. Only a win. The Giants have caught the
mighty
Dodgers and Padres in the loss column. That's interesting, man. I'm telling you this. And I'll tell you what, the longer the Giants hang in there, the longer they start to believe they actually belong. Like I think to a man, they're not going down to LA saying, "Oh, we have no shot."
Oh, for sure not. They need to do that because this is the time right now. You got 2 more against Colorado. You need to win those games. This is the time where you put the gas pedal down because you're going to go into LA and they're not playing very well. So this is your chance to put some distance between you and the Dodgers. If you can actually start hitting 1-run game, scoring 3-4 runs is not going to work though in LA because they're going to score 6.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Maybe not. The pitching could, if the pitching is perfect, then you got a shot, but you don't want to have to depend on that. So it would sure be a good time right now to get these bats going while they're in Colorado so they can carry that into LA.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, guys, we'll do it again tomorrow night. Thanks for jumping in. Thanks, chat. Let me just check our subs. I haven't been paying much attention to it as much lately, but we're at, we're about 5-6 away according to the YouTube's statistics. No, 3 away. 49.97. 3 away. All right. So Dallas, thank you.
Subscribe on a burner account.
All right, there we go. Thank you, Johnny, for coming on in. And hey, look, all I want to see the Giants do, I would love to see them win the division. That would be just awesome. I mean, that would be unexpected. I want to see the Giants come back to relevance. And I got into a little discussion on Twitter last night because I put a tweet out about what Mike Schilt said he was talking last night, and he said that this is most likely the best rivalry in baseball, the Dodgers and Padres. And I put a little thing out. I said, I was pretty pissed because I said, because Larry Baer hired Farhan and the ownership allowed Farhan to tear down the Giants so badly that we get statements like this, that the Padres and Dodgers. Now, we know that the Giants Dodgers historically is the best rivalry, the Yankees and Red Sox. It is the best, Cubs and St. Louis. Will stand the test of time, but the Giants got so mediocre the last few years that nobody even cared, and Dodgers took over Oracle Park. And that can't happen. If you watched last night's game, it was electric in San Diego. A Monday night sellout, screaming fans, very, very excited to watch a great ball game. And I haven't seen that kind of excitement at Oracle since 21. And yeah, I know Max Muncy disagrees exactly. He says,
Did you happen to see the interview? What Max said?
Yeah, he said the Giants are the rival. You can only have one rival. Yeah, and I get it.
And he's right.
And he is. But I was just a little taken back because I had some people in the chat, defending Farhan and saying, "Well, look what Farhan, did to put this thing together." Look, I know for a fact, that Farhan's way he ran the team made this clubhouse very disjointed, very there just wasn't that passion for success because there was just so much, nobody knew. It was guys here and gone. And I'll tell you what, when Logan Webb spoke a couple years ago and said there's got to be changes, you remember that? And then Kapler got fired a week later. He wasn't talking just about Kapler, I guarantee it. He was talking about Farhan, and he was frustrated.
If Farhan was smart, I mean, he made some good moves. I mean, the pitching staff that we have now, a lot of these guys are Farhan guys. But maybe he should have done, I mean, in the farm system, as far as batters goes, is a complete disaster. So I'm not going to defend him there. But it would have been better for him to just take a hands-off approach to the actual management of the team, let the baseball guys fill out the lineup card, make the moves, the constant up and down and trying to win every little thing at the margins does not build a cohesive unit. And in baseball, it's a team. You have to And you have to work as a team. And if there's all these moving parts, you're not going to build that chemistry.
Yep. And everybody talks about, well, Farhan look what he did with the pitching staff and this. Let me just tell you something. The Giants are going to draft here in the next month or two, whenever the draft is. And whoever they draft, Buster Posey is not going to be the guy that says, okay, I make this sole decision based on his own thinking. It's built on the scouts. You have a scouting department. You have a minor league director. And all those guys have probably much more input. Posey will make the final decision based on what he's been informed and told and all of that. Sure. Farhan's drafting of these guys was and the moves were not all Farhan. If you think Farhan was the sole guy running all this draft.
But there's probably more weight put in the exact numbers. What's his launch angle? What's these stats that we've never even heard of? He's using those metrics in his decision making, and Posey's going to be using more. Is this guy a player? is this
Right.
guy a dude?
This is what you're looking at, guys. Phillips got it nailed right here. The worst part of Farhan was the unhealthy culture, and the best part about Buster is a healthy culture. The reason that they are having success this year is players are bought in, they're energized, there's a vibe, there's an expectation. When Buster walks in and says it's go time, because they were just crap last week, for 2 weeks, these guys,
Apparently they took it to heart.
They believe it. If Farhan said it,
it's go time. Oh, okay. Well, let's win the next 6 in a row.
yeah. If Farhan said it's go time, you think? I mean, they'd be like, okay, "It's go time, guys. Go time. We really got to." I mean, come on. Farhan is I don't have anything against Farhan. I think he's probably a really good number 2 man in baseball. He's not the guy you want being your lead guy, speaking and being the spokesman of your team. He's the guy that finds those guys diamonds in the rough and is good at putting numbers together and finding some of these other guys, but he's not your main guy. And that was the problem. It's really, Farhan was the perfect example of the Peter principle. He went higher than his capability, his level, and he found out that he was in this position. And every time he spoke, you just felt like you kind of just cringed, didn't you? Like, oh gosh, he doesn't sound like you just didn't, when Buster Posey speaks, even though Buster's brand new, you just know he knows baseball and he's got a plan, and it's more underneath, there's a confidence. Buster has a confidence that he carries, and that is passed down to the rest of the organization. And that's why the Giants are playing different baseball this year. Pure and simple. They're really not much different of a team.
Yeah. Now, if Buster could just go down there and show him how to hit 300.
I think Buster,
if
Buster went to the cages, he's 36 years old. If he spent 4 weeks getting ready and started facing live pitching, he'd probably be their second or third best hitter. Seriously.
Yeah.
I'm dead serious.
Guys, before we go, I just want to bring up 3 comments.
Yeah,
one is,
go ahead.
San Diego is where it's at right now because they have no football team. There's no competition. There's nothing. They're the only game in town. This is where the Giants better be in 3 years, when the A's are definitely in Las Vegas. They got to make this place a destination. That's one. Number 2, we're not printing playoff tickets yet. I love the great attitude, but we still got 95 games. I think a key date is, if you look at the rest of the schedule, will be July 13th. That's when we play the Dodgers again, a second time down there. Last but not least, Dan brings up a great point. You can't have Dodger fans come in. The Dodgers come in on a weekend, July 11th, 12th, and 13th. If that place isn't 90% all Giants fans going crazy, then we have a problem.
Yeah.
I'm just going to bring that up because we've seen it where they took over everything. It's a weekend. It's a month from, basically, because today's the 10th, it's July 11th. So we'll see. I just wanted to bring up those little points.
And let me just say this to Giants fans out there. If these people can sell out, then so can the Giants. Okay. Come on. This isn't like, I don't understand this. I don't understand 18,000 people going out there to watch, look, I can go watch the same thing out in Arizona when guys are putting up a block wall. I can watch bricklaying in Arizona. I don't need to pay for it to go to a Valkyries game and watch bricklayers. I can just go out any day in Arizona and see everybody doing their walls, their block walls. Arizona is full of block walls. Okay. It's a masonry area. So none of this. No WNBA should be outdrawing the San Francisco Giants. I get it that it's new, but come on, you're outdoors and you got 40,000 people in the most beautiful stadium in the country, and you got fresh air, and you got baseball that's competitive. Baseball, a great sport that, I mean, come on. So the WNBA wants to ban people from booing. Are you serious?
That's just because of what happened with the most overrated player in the WNBA. I don't even want to make her comment because she Miss Brick Central. That's why, Dan, you know who it is. You've seen the videos.
Oh, yeah.
She feels awful when they boo her.
Well, she might want to change her attitude.
No, because she's the best. She deserves the pay. She's the best. Did you see what happened, by the way, when she played Indiana without what's her name? They only lost by 36. So,
and I heard the tickets were without Clark were selling for $3.
$3, top level.
$3.
Yep.
Look, yeah, that's why I don't like
attendance this year. I mean, it was in 23, it was at 30,800. 24, it was 32,600, and this year 35,100. So it's 2,500.
The weekends are looking great. I'm
2,500 a game over last year.
Good.
And if the Hello Kitty thing is any indication, there might be some more life coming back to it. They just have to keep playing well, and then I think the fans will be there.
Yeah. It would be nice if Buster can make this a destination team again. You know, well, it never really was a destination team, but if he could make it a destination team, look, it would be just, to me, absolutely incredible if the Giants were able to beat out the Dodgers with what the Dodgers just went and did this past offseason. I think it would just be
hilarious.
It would just be hilarious. And if the Giants were able to win it all, it would just be like, oh, that would be the ultimate. We would get back to owning them again. Yeah.
And Dan, you got to remember one thing. Sorry, guys, I forgot my third thing. Remember, the Dodgers are having a tough year right now because Mush joined them. If you remember, Farhan joined the Dodgers, and all hell.
Oh yeah,
he is Mush.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, keep him in there. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, exactly.
I think they have him managing soccer teams or something, though. I don't even think he's working on baseball.
Who knows what he's doing? Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Well, let's get out of here, guys. Great night. Giants come back and win unexpectedly. I thought after that bottom of the eighth, I thought, oh my God. I really thought, okay, 3-2. Giants are going to be able to get him in the ninth. And then it was 5-2. And I thought, wow. And then, Casey got that ball. That looked like it was above the letters. And he just went up and tomahawked it out. So big, huge win for the Giants.
I'm going to go back and look at the replay. I still don't understand how Wilmer Flores beat that out.
It was closer than it should have been, too.
Yeah.
I mean, gosh, I thought
him at third base, going from first to third on the base hit. I was more worried about him. Bring the oxygen, help.
Yeah, up in Colorado too. Yeah, Wilmer, maybe the day off yesterday and being up in Colorado gave him a boost, man. I don't know, but it's pretty funny to watch him run. So.
He might be sore tomorrow. We'll see if he's in there.
Yeah, see if he's in there tomorrow, right? Lefty, it's they're Kyle Freeland, right? Kyle Freeland tomorrow, who's shut the Giants down at times, and he's also gotten rocked. But
1-8 on the year, but a lefty against Ray.
I mean, hey, Cy Young against the Giants lineup right now.
Yep. And let's see how Ray does.
We didn't even talk about him much tonight. We'll have to talk about him tomorrow night. But Gerard Encarnacion does not look good. Does not look good at all.
Are you talking about his defense and right when he tries to
I'm talking about
fly ball or batting?
I'm talking about his swing and miss. Both ways. He hasn't hit a ball hard yet. I mean,
does he even have an average since he's bought up yet? I still think he's batting goose eggs.
He might be. He's gonna
takes a mean rip.
He's got a couple of weeks to make it, or he may be.
That's got Giants written all over it.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Really Appreciate it. Make sure you like on your way out. Hit that like button. And we'll be back after Giants tomorrow night as they go for 7 in a row in first place. Have a great night, everybody. Go Giants.